kiss. Keep it simple, stupid.
Tell me, boy.
Testicles, 1, 2, testicles. Welcome back to the show, ladies and gentlemen. I am Trebles Garcia, the humble host of this show, and this show is the best show with the best content for the best listeners, you. Paranoid Radio Podcast is now found absolutely free on all podcast platforms, so make sure you drop a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. This allows other people to enjoy the show as much as we enjoy making it. Thank you so much, and I want to thank God for allowing me to be here today and putting the roof over my heads, on my kids' heads, and for allowing me to be on the show today to open minds and challenge reality one episode at a time. Paranoid Radio Podcast drops episodes every single week, so make sure you stay tuned. Now I want to give a special thanks to all the followers on Instagram, since we're blowing the hell up and they're showing us a lot of support. The Patriots are being very, very active on the comment section, so thank you so much for that. And I want to translate these numbers from Instagram onto audio listens on the podcast. The podcast is available absolutely free on all podcast platforms again, and you can also check us out at paranoidradio.com. This next episode has a lot of information to uncover and unpack, and I really hope you guys could dig in and do the research that I'm telling you to do, and also listen very careful to what our banter was about, our conversation, and the details that I'm putting in, because I did a deep dive research. I really jumped into the deep end of the pool on this one. Now, we're not going to have any other segments to interrupt this conversation except for one, our Galactic Report from JB from RogueOneMedia.com. Make sure you check out RogueOneMedia.com, as JP is not only the biggest collaborator we've ever had, the most professional one at that, and also he has his own company that deals with media making. He takes videos. He's an audio engineer, video engineer, so make sure you check us out. Check him out at RogueOneMedia.com. Now, JB, please take it away.
Welcome back to the Galactic Update Report, brought to you by Rogue One Media and Paranoid Radio. I'm JB. Let's get into it. There is a family of Palladian Galactic Federation leaders who have been providing a lot of disclosure and messages, and I trust what they say. They are called the Family of Taygeta, if you haven't heard of them. Information that they are providing regarding the galactic events that are taking place on this planet and off planet, White Hat military operations, and the current situation between the White Hats, Galactic Federation, the Cabal, and our stability and future.
Friends of Earth, as you live daily on various areas of Earth, understand fully that no one reading this communication is on the vast continent of Antarctica. Having remote areas where humans never dare to explore in leisure, there are many that are on missions of light. These White Hats from the Pleiades and other Elohim races that we have shared, are there frequently and in great numbers. Cabal bases are also scattered throughout the area, with only 200 left as the light takes over in great numbers. The Galactic Federation has bases throughout the planet. Some of the finest and most luxurious are beneath the ice in Antarctica. There are vast openings where crafts enter seamlessly, and the occupants are ushered into hallways and structures of crystals and beauty. There are wonderful meals shared among those gathered to discuss the issues of Earth and other stars and planets of duality. There are meetings regarding planetary action that would be instantly in place, with dark forces eradicated should nuclear threat become imminent. White Hats arrive from military positions around the planet. There are always representatives from Elohim races that are acting on your behalf in high places of power on Earth. They blend seamlessly with others and get their work done as they vanish to meet on crafts and in higher powered operations beneath ice and mountains. Another covert operation is the constant monitoring of clone activity. Having many secret facilities for product replacement of humans has become a large undercover deception that the planet is undergoing. Galactic Federation allows free will and has always been aware of the growing numbers of clones in action now. This will continue until the grand shift. It is a tool used by many to replace a human that has been completely removed from life on this plane of existence. Galactic Federation has many plans and actions that are not revealed in these moments, but know clearly that they are in control.
Clones are a real thing, and they cause a lot of problems because you can arrest somebody, you can execute them, and they just have another clone that they roll out, and it's like the person just never left, never skipped a beat, and they go on about doing whatever it is that they do. They don't have a soul. They are a real person, but they don't have a soul. They don't live very long, and they're programmed with installed memories and installed personalities that replicate the person that used to exist. So you can't detect it unless you know what you're looking for, and they get the job done. They put them on a podium. It's like if the Clintons are executed, but we see Hillary Clinton doing her thing, the public believes Hillary Clinton is still alive, and so it's a problem. And they're working on finding all these labs and shutting it down. But that's something the Cabal is still very active and skilled at, and we just have to deal with it for now.
There are currently 400 large bases in Antarctica that are used by the Galactic Federation as crafts, and motherships are welcomed from Sirius, Andromeda, Arcturus, and the Pleiades. The power of light is enormous. Great discussions with commanders and elders brings a unity of wisdom as we move toward a peaceful galactic civilization. There are under-ice compounds where evil entities have been held. These forces also operate in the non-physical aspect of life, which enables them to connect in other places as rituals are held with dark intent. All of this will end with a powerful presence of love and peace that will eradicate and dissolve all energy that is left of these beings of darkness. The Galactic Federation will destroy and remove any further actions. This method will not be revealed. Antarctica is one of several openings to inner Earth. Beloved ones, you are living in the most magnificent dream to ever be. Never stop looking up. We are with you in great numbers. En iki mai ia. I love you so, Neo.
Things are looking fantastic. I just want to say that if you go within and if you raise your vibration and if you come from love and if you seek the truth, you will exist in a peaceful, protected, abundant environment. Even if there's chaos all around you, you will be protected. You will be at peace. I am practicing this every day. I'm raising my vibration. I'm coming from love. I'm spreading light. I'm giving back to Mother Earth with my intentions and my heart. And if you do the same, you will see dramatic changes in your life. We have to start shifting now to focusing and spreading the light and stop focusing on the dark, because the dark is coming to an end. The dark is at its last breath. The dark is just fizzling out, and we don't want to give it any more power and any more attention. Don't listen to the news, Don't look at Joe Biden, what he's doing. Don't get frustrated. Worry about yourself, manifesting your future, manifesting a bright future for us collectively, working together and believing in the positive. Not believing in saviors, but believing in yourself and your connection with your creator, God. However you see it, whatever your faith is, go within and the answers will come. And today is a good message from the family of Taygeta, assuring us that the White Hats are in control, operations are taking place, hundreds of military bases are all over the planet, and many of them are in Antarctica, which is why no people are allowed over there. It used to be a stronghold for the Cabal. They are now being just squeezed and stomped out. They're down to their last basic swing of the bat. It's over, folks. We're at the last mile here. 2024 is going to be the last run of the Cabal. And then we're going to shift into a whole new world. Like, we are going to have galactic interactions, galactic connections, galactic disclosure, and in relations with off-planet species that have been going on for thousands of years that is now going to be revealed to the public. And we're going to enter into an intergalactic future like Star Trek. We're going to have friends from other planets. I'm excited. It's real. It's happening. Tap into your sacred heart, your sacred mind, your sacred soul, your true self. It's a wonderful time to be alive on this planet. Many races across the galaxy would give anything to be here now. That's how amazing it is. We're here now, and it's special. So embrace it, soak it up, and use it. Tap into yourself and learn about who you truly are. That's it for this Galactic Update Report. I'm JB with Rogue One Media, and you can find me on Instagram under the handle of Renegade Family of Light. Now back to Paranoid Radio.
Boom. Hold the fuck up. Stop the phones. Stop the time. Here we go. I'm going to have to run that one back with JB to get more details and make that little segment an entire freaking episode. down. Thank you so much, JB from Rogue One Media. Make sure you check him out at Rogue One Media. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I want you guys to sit back and enjoy the main conversation of the show as we're about to blow your fucking mind and take you to the bank of knowledge. Make sure you make that deposit and stay tuned to ParanoidRadio.com and enjoy the rest of the show.
Paranoid Radio.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have an amazing episode lined up and a very special episode. It's going to be slightly different this time around. We have a lot of information to unpack and unload. As a matter of fact, this episode is inspired by recent events. It is not all based on conspiracy theory. This is actually something that's tangible data that you could hashtag look it up, hashtag GTS, Google that shit, hashtag búscalo. Please allow me to jump in from the deep end of the pool and set the fucking mood and strike with iron is fucking hot, fresh off the printing press. Ladies and gentlemen, we the people, the words of which we've learned to live free and impact the world, summoning strength, law, and order and wealth from the source, us. We grant the government power and only we can take it away. It is not a coincidence that we haven't met global climate or gun control or gun reform. It's a consequence of petrol business and weapon manufacturers at a global scale contributing for lobbyists and for selected officials to run our lives according to what makes them richer and makes us a slave. Watch out if your last name is in capital letters because it implies you're a piece of property or corporate asset from one slave master to the arms of another. But this episode won't only break down the cruel truth of how our federal government is bought out by elite banks and shareholders. It will also chisel into your dome the reality of the U.S. going from a republic to a bank-owned corporation after the Civil War. Big Tank and I are here and welcoming you to the United States Corps of America. Wah, wah, wah. Oh, hell of a fucking intro. Yeah.
But can I be honest? The intro was badass. I just found it funny how you said hashtag GTS, Google that shit with your chest, and then you jumped into second, then you jumped into like your sexy voice, búscalo.
Oh, we gotta give him a little hardcore. We gotta give him a little impactful loving, and then we're gonna give him the fucking. It's called. This is what I call it. I call it the what is it, Sour Patch Kid method. You know, some people use the pull-up method. I use the Sour Patch. There we go. But the other way around, you're a little sour at first, and you treat them nice. You tell them that, oh, your nails look nice. Oh, did you do something with your hair? You're still a piece of shit, though. You know, something like that. You know what I'm saying? Oh. All right, ladies and gentlemen. I want you guys to understand something. This episode is going to come at you with some historical facts, but it's also going to come at you with some documents towards the end where I have resourced and I'm going to put it on the description. Something that you can look up and it's tangible to what I'm going to say. These are bills that have passed. Now, before anything, all right, Tank, I'm going to go off on a rant here. Come in anytime, but I need to let you guys know a little piece of information. There's two different laws of
Angels
land.
is gay. Oh, no, not that one. Not that one.
No, not that one.
No, that one's not hitting the news yet. Okay,
that was not in the news yet, bro. I haven't passed it, okay?
Too
Too soon, dog. I haven't sold my soul yet to the Illuminati, all right? Relax.
The script still isn't in effect.
It hasn't been put in effect yet. Check this out, dog. There's two different things you need to understand before we even jump into the deep end of the pool. Law of the land versus maritime law. When you're in land, when you go to South Africa and you land in and you come from South Africa and you land in Japan, the land of the law makes you or your allies or friends behave in a different way. For example, you can't smoke in different areas. Christianity is illegal. That's called the land of the law. The law of the land. Now, however, if you pull out a credit card, now the land of the sea is different, aka maritime law, banking law. Pull out a credit card in California, and when you go to Jamaica, you will live lavishly, regardless of the land of the law of the land, right? Regardless. Would you agree? Okay.
Yes, different pay rate, exchange rate, everything. Yes,
exactly. That is called maritime law. That is the law of the fucking sea. Now, we say money goes through your hands like water. Now, this is just wordplay here. And that's because money is water. As in maritime admiralty law of England, the same law in international law refers to ships and vessels as all female. So what I'm trying to say, the reason I put money in context as water is because of the next statement. Check this out. Every single ship, every single boat, every single fucking goods that comes from different countries over the sea is called a female ship. This is why the fucking the pilot or the captain of a ship or a plane would say she's a worthy vessel. She is a worthy ship. She's been through maritime law, through maritime wars and battles. Okay.
Okay.
When a ship pulls into harbor, it's called docking, and it's tying the ship at berth for delivery. These are all words that maritime law uses for ships. When they dock, they tie the ship at berth for delivery. And what are they delivering? They're delivering goods. The first thing that gets pulled out before they start unloading the ship for those goods is a certificate of manifest. Boom. Here
I
we
thought you were
go.
talking about the long shalong of the law.
The long shalong law. I didn't know. I think that's the third law. People want the long shalong of the law. So why? Now the big question is, why am I bringing this up? Because it's called that because ships are brought in and they are actually giving birth to a delivery. Now you think of birth as BIRTH. No, BRTCH. I mean, sorry, I said it again. BIRTH. This is called BERTH, I think. I'm not, correct me if I'm wrong. Now listen, it's not a conspiracy theory. The commercial world works, and it sets you up upon coming from your mother. When you are born, you come from your mother's canal after the water breaks as a product of maritime admiralty law to be sold and traded or bought using currency. Now, what I'm doing here is connecting the way humans are not transferred, but you are in a delivery room because your mom is going to give delivery after you get pushed out of the canal and you're born out of water because your water breaks. You see how the things here are connected? What is one of the very first things that the state sends out, the county sends out when your kid is born? Now, different counties have different themes, and different counties have different specs. You and I were talking about this earlier, Big Tank, how some certificates have different fucking values and different play on words, right?
Different wordplay,
Exactly. So if you are born, the very first thing that gets pushed out is the birth certificate, the certificate of manifest. Now, a lot of birth certificates in LA County have the name of the father and mother under a guardian, or a lot of them don't even say mother and father guardian. The certificate is a commercial document owned first. Before that, a lot of them says that you are informant. So the birth certificate, it doesn't only say that you're a guardian, or it switches the word guardian to informant. So your mother and your father, after you're getting delivered, informs the county and the state that that product has manifested or is there now. You weren't there before, but you are there now. And the certificate is a commercial document that shows that you are livestock shared by the U.S. Department of Commerce. That is in fine print. If you go to any birth certificate and fine print at the bottom, there is a stamp of the Commercial of Commerce. The Department of Commerce of the United States of America. Commerce on a birth certificate of a human being? Question mark, question mark, question mark? What the fuck? All right, T. First, before I continue, you need to come in with something. Yes.
No, okay, but before you dive into that, I will state that that's not necessarily true
on every
birth certificate.
That's right. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
The original, something that you brought up, and I started deep diving. The original 13 colonies don't have that. Okay.
Explain that. Give me that, because I know the doc. I know for a sec. I mentioned this to you now behind the scenes. Also, there is a the national, what's it called? The Constitution used to say, "We the people of New Hampshire, New York, etc., all the first 13 colonies."
Yes. Okay. So the very first thing that I'm gonna correct you on is that not the original 13 colonies have even more wordplay. Anything that's New York, anything on the East Coast, original 13 colonies that started off Maine, Maryland, all those set up throughout, do not have that. They actually have really distinct birth certificates where there's a lot more wordplay. For example, I'll give you mine. Okay, I'll give you my example just because I just seen my son's not that long ago. And it starts running down. The father does not need to be included in the birth certificate according to California. Okay, he does not have to be present. He does not have to be included if they don't want to. You can keep his name anonymous, especially if he's not there when they write it down. Not only that, they only need consent from one parent to be included, saying you were there. And the name of the doctor or the leading nurse if they can get the signature, because there has to be a testifier that you were actually there at a living consent.
Yes,
you have to be living.
I read that too. I heard that the doctors, even if they falsify or don't report your birth as a living manifest on the day that you were born, they can go to jail because it's it's a fucking very, very high-end felony. You'll do life and you'll lose your license and you'll lose your you'll do like a long time in jail in California, at least in California.
So this is what comes into part two. If you happen to die while you're in the birth canal, at one point you were alive and you died within the birth canal.
Oh shit!
You do not get a certificate of death, a COD. You do not get one. You will get another set of paperwork saying that this basically object was basically found or arrived with no life.
You know what COD also stands for in commerce? Cash on delivery. What the fuck? Oh no, you just connected more dots to this shit. This is weird.
They got you coming and going. Okay.
Yeah,
they got you coming and going. A lot of things actually make really good sense. How you say how they merge in and they're tied up to the same thing. So we have COD, we have birth. Basically, client fucking put in all into one. Okay, so I understand the whole fact of you're trying to make America's commercialized, not you. America being commercialized and being more as a business than anything else. But aren't all the best things in life businesses?
We sure have lost a lot of talents due to privileges that businesses have brought to us. That's fact. I know.
I'll give you a better one. one. Paranoid Radio is a show. But the way we run things, we set things up. We set it up as a corporation, as a business. Okay. Technically, Paranoid Radio is just a hobby, pastime, something we're trying to make grow, explode. You know what I mean? Obviously, if we ever do get to make money out of it, then that's when it really becomes a significant business per se. Okay, I'll give you another one. Los Cuñados bullies, baddest bullies in the game. Don't you guys forget it's tagging fucking gorillas everywhere you see. No. I have documentation that I have to set up for the puppies, letting people know. Hey, thank you for buying from Los Cuñados bullies, giving them the fair thing. Hey, you guys have a week to go get the dog checked out through a veterinary that you like. And if you find something wrong with it, you can bring it back. We'll either swap it out for another puppy or money back, whatever you like, type of deal. But I also have to input it that there should be no slandering. Also, I will take full legal force on my end. Okay. And this is all contracts that all breeders follow. Just simple,
and these
simple
are contracts that have been also notarized, I assume.
Exactly.
Okay.
So why is it that everything that we try to do leads up to it being a business? So why would it be wrong if America is a business?
Okay, well, not that it's wrong, but the system. Now we're gonna touch a little bit on why it might be wrong when I bring in Titanic, because I'm also gonna bring in Titanic. Wait, let me tie this all together. Now let me go to the second portion of this rant that I have for you. This is where I'm gonna bring some more bombs. Now, the United States, without the phrase "of America," implies to the event in 1871. Where a group of bankers bought the republic and made it into a corporation. 1871, right after the Civil War, or partly through the Civil War. Same reason why our leader is called president, vice president, and secretary of treasury. Now, president, vice president, and secretary of treasury are terms used only banking. These are banking terms that are only used in corporations, not in democracies. Now, check this out. As a matter of fact, dog, I want to tell you something that has happened also to me right before you take a plea. Before you get convicted on any level felony charge, the judge asks you a final question that not even the defendant or your fucking attorney can negate or tell them to stop asking you. It's something that you have to answer. And the question is this: are you a U.S. citizen? Now, the first thing that comes to your head, you're like, okay, that means, am I here legally? Am I an illegal alien? Do I have my papers? Do I have a social security? That's what runs into your head. No, it means, are you a USA national, or are you a U.S. citizen? U.S. citizen, not USA national. And he tells you to be very careful on how you answer this question. Every single time, the judge will ask you this. If you say yes, they lock you up. And that is because a U.S. citizen is an employee of a corporation, not a sovereign nation or representative of a body of a nation, of a body of peoples, which means human and civil and laws and the Bill of Rights only protects American nationals, not U.S. citizens. The state then takes over you and treats you like an employee, a part of a corporation that is foreign toward the United States, to the United States Republic. This is the fucking country, the body of peoples. Take this out. As a matter of fact, you belong to Washington, D.C., and Washington, D.C., it's its own independent state, city, that has its own unique laws, like the Vatican in Rome, and it's in its own entity with its own flag and its own laws and its own representatives, just like the people of Rome. When you and I did the Vatican episode, we talked about how the Vatican had its own secret police, its own secret fucking sewer system, fucking power grid, defense mechanisms, and elites that will fucking protect the Vatican. The same thing with Washington, D.C.
Okay.
Trip the fuck out. Now, what do you got to say about that? I mean, look, these are all connected, and the wordplay here connects corporations, and it makes it look like the United States of America is not really a fucking country. It's more of a brand corporation. It's a bank, a huge bank. And that's where I want to bring in Titanic, because then, you and I know exactly what happened after the Titanic, one of the biggest conspiracies of all time. The Federal Reserve was played. Trip the fuck out. Now, I have a big bomb I want to drop on you. Now, for anybody that's listening to this fucking show, this is physical, tangible shit. Pull out a $1 bill, just $1 bill. And I want you to Google the Revenue Cutter Service. The Revenue Cutter Service logo. Yes, okay. The Revenue Cutter Service is a league of a branch of military ships used to collect taxes through piracy and revenue from the outer banks of the Atlantic Ocean during and after the Revolution. Again, the Revenue Cutter Service was collecting money from pirates using pirate laws and maritime laws on the outer banks of the Atlantic Ocean in the East Coast of the United States during and after the Revolution. The same seal of that league of ships, it's still on the dollar bill today. The little green stamp on the one in front of the dollar. Hank, are you looking at the dollar right now?
I'm looking at it right now, big dog.
It says ONE, one, and then on top of the one it has a green stamp. That green stamp is the fucking, it's called the Revenue Cutter Service. That stamp represents the service of maritime law policies on land. Look it up.
Well,
Tripping the fuck up. You see
I believe you, but according to this, it's the logo that they adopted for the Department of Treasury.
Yes, they adopted, but the fucking logo represents
adopted.
The logo represents the Revenue Cutter Service. Now, it even says Cutter Service around that league of ships, like using pirate laws.
Actually, I don't see that one.
It's the top of the one. We'll have to take a picture and put it up. It's fucking trippy, dog.
Okay.
Now, okay.
It goes back to the same thing, though. I agree with you that on paper it does seem it shows that America's a how do you call it, what's the name of that shit? It's a corporation. I agree with you, but in the most basic sense, Paranoid Radio has a business account. Los Cuñados Bullies has a business account. Okay. The way we move on our platform at paranoidradio.com, go check us out. It's portrayed as a business. It really is. Okay. Does that necessarily mean we're evil as well?
It only says we're evil if, now this is where you are kind of like, you're gonna get the, why is this so supposed to be evil? Now, remember when I told you that there's two different types of fucking Americans? There's an American national, and then there's a U.S. citizen, which means that you're part of a corporation. Now, there's also two types of fucking passports, and we're going to get to that point. American diplomats, aka American nationals, use a green passport to travel worldwide, versus us, U.S. citizens, you and I, use the blue one, the one that we go to travel. Even the word liberty. Check this out. Even the word liberty is misused. When you think of the word liberty, you think of freedom, right? Okay. Sailors, when they, after the ship docks, sailors get liberty, the word liberty, coming off the ship. It's a sentenced and limited word that has a curfew, and it could only be filled and given to you by the captain of a ship. It's a key word. If so, what I'm basically telling you that the premise around the word liberty has been misconstrued or misinformed for us to understand it in a different way. Even the Statue of Liberty was given to us right after the United States adopted the policies of a corporation to give us as a corporation, to move like a corporate through corporate law. Now, where I'm getting also where I'm trying to get at is after the Civil War, during the war in 1871, the Constitutional Republic abandoned Congress, which fixed Lincoln to call forth martial law. This allowed corporate banking millionaires' resurgence to come and buy and move in. However, private banks and corporations are privately owned, bro, which means that if they buy out your debt is now theirs. And whoever has to pay that debt, which is you and I, has to be accounted for. We have to be liable for all the shit that happens next. This is why when you're born, you get a social security number and you have a promise. Your certificate of birth is a promise to the bankers that you will pay off that massive fucking debt for the rest of your life until you die.
That's a little stretch. I understand being a number for a corporation.
That's where
I'll
we're
give
evil.
you that.
That's where being a corporation goes evil.
Okay. I personally, I agree with everything until you said that we have to pay off the debt.
The United States has been in debt forever.
It's the same thing. Like it's same bankruptcy, though. You get me?
Okay. Well, look. Right after the Titanic, now I'm gonna touch the Titanic really briefly. All right, it's a little research on the Titanic. Before the Titanic, the banking corporations were trying to buy out the government. And then whoever got on the fucking Titanic, the Titanic sank, and the people that were against the Federal Reserve, they died. Chase pulled out his golden statues off Titanic, and Chase was one of the biggest founders. JP Morgan Chase, the bank, the owner, the dude, he was one of the biggest founders to fucking push on the Federal Reserve in 1913. 1912, Titanic sank. 1913, the Federal Reserve put in place, and they adopted a fucking fiat currency that has nothing to back it up. No more gold-backed currency, no more silver-backed currency. They started giving you fiat money, fake paper money, monopoly money to pay off a debt. But if you read that money, it says federal note. It's not money. It doesn't worth anything. It's only backed up by debt. That's the debt that they want you to pay out with fake fiat money. The Federal Reserve is a cycle, a never-ending cycle for every fucking U.S. citizen that's born to be able to pay off that debt from beginning to death. That's what I'm telling you, that it's evil, because we'll never finish off paying that debt. The debt the United States of America went after they went into bankruptcy during the Civil War. You get what I'm saying now? That the United States of America lost.
No. I understand that. I understand it. Don't get me wrong. I understand the point you're trying to make and everything. But it comes down to the whole problem is that with that fake money, we're still living our lives to lives, and not like it's literally worth it. Like if you go to what is that place in South America that they throw away the money because it doesn't mean anything. That would be a whole different failure. You get me? Don't get me wrong. At least with this money, boom, hey, here you go, Trebles. Thank you for this. You go and you can spend it. It's not like I said, like that country that we were talking about right now, that it literally means nothing.
That's too fragile. Yeah.
That we could at least use it. So yes, I understand it. We're paying off a debt. I agree with all that. All of that makes perfectly sense. But it's a working system up to right now.
Okay.
Doesn't mean it's gonna go away. But at least they're not giving you pennies, literally a penny. You get me?
That's when the IRS. Okay, so there was a reason. There was a little issue in the early 1900s, right after World War II started for us in 1933. The income tax, your income tax was placed on the people of a new federation doing business as the United States Inc. This is tangible facts. You can look it up in all caps. Remember, when you type in all caps, you're either shouting or you're part of a corporation. Like when you get sued, all the capital letters means that there's an institution that's giving you a prospect or is suing you for a type of money. I don't know if you've ever gotten sued, but big capital letters in business means
realistically it's asserting dominance than anything else. Whenever you received anything, let's use this. It says route summary, big bold letters. It's asserting its dominance. It's telling you what it is. Not necessarily.
that's part of a corporation because you're working for a corp. You're working for a company.
No. That's fine. That's fine. But
Uh-huh.
like I said, let's just go back to it. It says route summary highlighted. You get me?
Mhm.
Orkin would be the main thing.
Uh-huh.
What's incorporated is the route summary. You get me? It's also asserting dominance necessarily, like you said, shouting to a sense. You get me? So, but it's not necessarily automatically going towards that. Paranoid radio, boom! It's big, it's bold, it's
capital
telling
letters.
you what we are.
Yeah.
You get me? I mean, I understand what you're telling me, but you also have to take it at what it is.
You want to drink a white pill. You want to see order through the chaos, even though it's not that bad.
No. I understand where the world is bad. You get me? But I'm not gonna make it 10 times worse. I'm gonna take it for what it is and what I'm seeing come at me. I'm not gonna automatically descend it into chaos. You get me?
Either way, we can't. We could only inform people, right? Like at this point,
exactly.
We're already stuck in this fucking cycle.
If you get one bad apple out of a tree, you don't doom the whole tree. Realistically. So why would you doom one person for everything that America's doing?
The other way around, you mean?
No. To take it at face fact. For example, everybody knows you don't like Biden. You get me? Okay. Are you dooming you're basically dooming America for Biden? You get me? Why would you do that? You wouldn't condemn.
The Biden situation. The Biden situation is not just one bad apple. There's a lot of bad apples in that bitch. That is a different scenario.
It could be said out through all the years. You get me? Even Trump administration has had very bad apples. Bill Clinton.
The IRS is a bad organization with many bad apples. It's a branch of the whole branch needs to get cut off. For example, we would I get it. And there is a white pill to drink here. There's a loophole. Do you know? Now look, there's a loophole in the whole thing. This is why I was going to bring you some proven facts that you can look up. There's a bill called 18 USC number 8. 18 USC 8. And this bill ultimately states that all of your debt is a human resource, and the USA is liable for all of the U.S. federal government and everything that the U.S. citizens and U.S. nationals are owing. Basically, what they're saying is that when you have a debt collector, for example, you owe $1,000 to Capital One, to your Capital One credit card, and a debt collector, after you stop paying it, and you don't want to pay it anymore, the debt collector comes at you and they fucking buy out your debt, and then they call you back and they tell you, hey, your debt has been passed on to us. You need to pay us now. The moment the debt collector just purchased that debt from Capital One under your name without you signing off any documents, they owe that money now. They owe your debt. You don't have to, by law, you don't have to pay any of that fucking money back, because the people that owe that money now is the debt collector. This is why bankruptcy is legal by law, a way to get rid of all your debt here today. So there is a loophole where we're still protected, and it's not all an evil empire.
Oh, no,
so you're right.
Not only that, you have, if we're going just straight off the debt collection, they have 7 years to collect it from the time that they went into bad debt. So, for example, I stopped paying it yesterday. They have 7 years from today to be able to collect it, and then it drops off. They cannot collect it no more.
I didn't know that. So after 7 years, it's defaults.
It defaults. It might still pop up on your credit report.
Yeah,
but it won't be an active open account.
And even at that, your credit report is based off 3 different styles. I think it's pay your history of payment, your income, I believe, and how many assets you have open. So let's say you have that one violation, right? And that you didn't pay on time or whatever, and it's 6 years later, even that, the whole credit system is based on fiat money that is not even represented by real fucking gold setback standards. So it's kind of like monopoly. It's just a fucking game to kind of keep you in a hamster wheel. And unfortunately, like you said, we all benefit off of it. You have a 55-inch TV at your home. You have a PlayStation 5, maybe off credit. and
Yeah.
et cetera. You know, your
A
car,
frame.
your car note.
Hey, motherfuckers are living off a frame, big dog. Motherfuckers are living off a frame. Snap finance, big dog. Hey,
Hey,
they
what's your Afro payments?
they live in a fucking a garage, big dog. But best believe they got 75-inch 4K TV right there posted,
Yeah,
flashing for the gram.
yeah.
Look what I got. You got me. Realistically,
Yeah.
it does
Yeah.
happen.
Dude, it's very interesting, dog. And look, let's fucking put this on an ether. Let's fucking say that the United States of America won a civil war. The civil war was won by the Republic, but unfortunately, they were so broke to continue that after declaring martial law, we were bought out by a set of bankers, and Lincoln had to do it in order for us to continue this life. And the U.S. American flag and the nationals wouldn't fucking perish. In the history of time, we're still here as one of the strongest fucking countries in the planet.
Agreed.
You know, we
agreed.
benefited off of it. We benefited off of it. So it's not all bad. However, our kids have a birth certificate. That's a manifest. And we are part of a corporation. And unfortunately, we're stuck in this hamster wheel with the illusion of freedom. It's an illusion of freedom.
No.
It's fucking weird, dog. What's your take on this episode, Big Tank? Woo, that was
it's a lot. It's a lot that we have to pass through. It's a lot we have to think of. It's a lot that we're doing. It's definitely something that you need to fuck around and find out. Fuck around and find out. Definitely. Fuck around and find out. Definitely. Hey, big dog, this was very interesting. Catch us at ParadigmRadio.com. Check out Los Cuñados Bullies. Till the next time.
That is right, ladies and gentlemen. Please make sure to check us out and check out Los_Cuñados_Bullies on all podcast, all social media platforms, and check us out at ParadigmRadio.com. ParadigmRadio.com is brought to you by Big Tank and Trebles, and this episode will be found on all podcast platforms. Make sure you drop a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. It allows other people to enjoy the show as much as we enjoy making it. Thank you so much.
Till the next time.
Paranoid Radio.